keeps catching me out, this car. I've got this piece of exhaust here. This is off the Grand Large. And I assumed that the engine was in the same place and the bulkhead's in the same place and the chassis is in the same place. So this would fit. And it fits nicely here, but underneath, it just hangs too low. So this is the Grand Large exhaust, and this is what was on the car when I got it, which is made up of bits and pieces. This is what I cut out the car, because when it had the Datsun engine, the exhaust was on the exhaust manifold was on the opposite side, so that they crossed it over under the car. So I chopped that out and I made this. Well, I made the end piece, which I was going to bolt onto the old. I was going to put this onto where this was, and then bolt the new one on somehow. No, I was going to put it that way. That's it. Put it that way around. Anyway, that really doesn't work. So I've got hold of this, and this is a Vauxhall Corsa, and I don't think that's any good. That's way too big. But this is a nice slim box, and I think I can use that as a centre box. That's a small, skinny box, and I think I've just got enough space to get that in. A few dents in it, but I don't think that will matter too much. And I'll make this pipe, try and get that into the shape for the downpipe, and then worry about that end later. But some useful bits, and this is, I'm measuring this at 41mm, and the old exhaust is 40mm, so that's pretty much the same, which is why I went for this. So this flexi joint might be useful. That may be adaptable to fit. We'll see. I mean, you can buy these in France for my car, I believe, but I've heard that people get them and they don't fit properly and whatever, and I really can't buy anything from France and send it back easily with customs and all that palaver. So I picked this up cheap after a lot of research and see if we can make it work. Right, here's some stuff I've found out. This was the manifold end. I didn't realise that that's actually loose. Which, this one, the other end, I'm not sure if it is or it isn't. I'm going to warm that up anyway, see if that comes loose. But this angle here is not a million miles away from that. So if I cut that flange off and extend it, and the difference I found is that, look at the diameter of this. This is, let's find somewhere you can see. This is bigger. But if we go to this box section, it's smaller, and this end is smaller, so I reckon this is the same as this. Pretty much. A little bit in it, a little bit. So I'm going to warm up this end and see if that is loose or whether it's fixed. There's a fair bit of traffic past my house in the morning. I'd like to keep the other end intact as long as I can. Good reference for me. Let's see if this comes loose. I'd like to reuse something like this. But this end does look different. I've tapped it with a hammer. It didn't want to come loose. I think it's fixed. I don't know, gap does seem to be opening up a bit. We'll get a hammer now. It looks like this collar's on a like a bit of a sleeve that goes inside the pipe. So I wonder if I grind that carefully, I can get that off. Well, I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get that on. But on the one that connects to the manifold, this flange sticks out proud like that. The way this one was fitted, it goes into a recess like that. And I'm not sure which is best yet. But we'll take this flange off here and then figure it out. It's quite weird how this is fitted on the car because this is obviously fixed to the engine, and then there's a bracket here which fixes to the gearbox, so it's still rigid on the engine and gearbox. And then further back we're on rubber mounts. I've never seen a car like that before. Normally it's always just hung on rubber. So I'm going to leave that in, that flexible joint. That's not going to do any harm. Give me a little bit of wiggle room as well. But I'll recreate it. This is the bracket that goes on that fixes on there somehow with a strap, and that attaches to the gearbox. This is day 2. This is what I've taken out. This is off the Grand Large, and these are the made up pieces from the exhaust. And this is a very sturdy pipe, and I wouldn't have a problem in using those bends again. Compared to the original Simca, it's probably twice the weight. So on the car, I salvaged the flange off the Grand Lodge, and that swivels to give me some movement. This is obviously, that's fully welded there. We got that tacked together and onto the flexi joint. Now under the car, looking backwards, and this bend here was already in it, which is quite nice. That just fits the floor nice. I had to put a little nick in it there to join it onto that the old system, and that system is made from bits and pieces, I think. So I think what I'll do initially is I'll disconnect it there and run the car without the rear end, just see what it sounds like. And I might do away with that second box because we've got this really long box in here now, and it just clears this. This is the handbrake retaining strap, or whatever you call it there. So I should put a support here, and I've got to join that to that, and I'll leave this as a removable joint here. And with this coarser pipe, I've used several different thicknesses of pipe, and that pipe there will just slide into that pipe, which is pretty cool. So I'll make some pie cuts now and try and get those to join together. This is going to be the hanger at the front, at the bottom of that big bend on the floor pan. So it'll be a dual purpose clamp and bracket, and then that'll be fixed to the floor. So I'm going to MIG this. I'm getting into MIG now. See what that looks like after. So exhaust done. I ended up gas welding these. It's too frantic with MIG. So we got a join there and a join there. Join here. This will be a clamp, and this is where the rubber bracket will go. And then it's just a nick out of that. And I've made a copper gasket to go in there. I don't know if there should be one, but there's nothing when I took it apart, and I just feel a bit happier if there's something there. I'll show you underneath now. Oh, so I don't know if you'll see this, but this is the right hand footwell at the front. So we've got a bracket on there, then a rubber mount. I'll show you one of those, and then a clamp. There you go, come back. Clamp. Where is it? Bolted to that, and that's my front support. And this is the rubber mount I've used. As you can guess, it's Jaguar. So I've done away with that bracket that comes off the gearbox. Now I've got that flexi joint in. I don't think that's a good idea.